are going to be 100% necessary in this fight, because any fight that's stalled out is an instant loss.
Yeah, and here we go, getting right into it. We see both teams rolling out to the point, trying to establish a little bit of point presence and try and figure out how they want to approach this fight.
Yep, Grubs going to be slowly making it now. They're both meeting it at the center, so now it's just a rather of who gets picked and if they decide to rush in. They're taking their time as slowly the bar is like poking down the shield, and they're having to play back. This is the positioning they want. Because right now they have, Stalin has nothing to do. They're just open to the sidelines as they're being shot out. Axel Platzel is almost out of the game as he's getting very low, but they're able to get some pressure in now, moving right in, but it doesn't really make much of a difference. As Barrage is instantly made, and it's used getting two. Daddy Cole also getting him down, but now they're just able to run in. Coalescence being popped out to try to salvage this fight in any sense. However, it's not going to be able to do much. There's only a Reaper who, but Reaper manages to get the tank, and they manage to get the point somehow.
Yeah, the amount of sustain on the side of Stalingrad is basically a win-7 fight. They lose they lose two to the Barrage actually, but they end up killing the Pharah, and then they kill the Mercy because Mercy goes for kind of a brain dead res, not gonna lie, and then ends up dying. And just the ability to sustain on the side of Stalingrad wins it with the Coalescence, and then Coalescence coming out.
Yeah, they're going to be engaging with the Coalescence right now, looking ready for the managed to get Ray, and now the Lucio immediately shutting down. Now they're kind of split with the Mei wall. The tank is now gone, but they have the ability to shut down everyone else. Only Zarya left on point, and that's a pretty clean engage coming out of them. They had the target focusing, they had the plan. I would say the tank did manage to kind of over-aggress and get split off by the Mei wall, which is making sure that they're picked off by the Reaper.
Yeah, and I mean, great flank from Cameron to come around and just put pressure on Ray's shield, and not allowing her to cover all angles of pressure by looking one way. And that's kind of what PT Hanley's doing when he's playing the Sigma. He's allowing them to cover flanks with that shield and provide more pro cover. And there's Cameron picking off his counter.
Yeah, sometimes and immediately a Barrage as they just go through the high ground. And from knowing how people do this is either them like forcefully trying to get out that far, or they're trying to rush through, which isn't the best when you're going into an isolated area and a Pharah is sitting there with a damage boost and a Barrage.
Yeah, not the best pathing decision, especially when you know the other Pharah's been doing work and you know she's gonna have Barrage. You generally never want to go through that path, but they decide to do it anyways and they pay for it.
Now they're gonna be going through mid, trying to rush down instantly, zooming right on. Slam coming down, sound barrier making sure to keep them alive. They're kind of split. Bob in the back line, Bandit managing to get Mr. Roy, popping Coalescence to try to salvage this fight. Music getting the tank now. They're looking for anything. Now it's going back to back. It's still only 2 down on both sides. The Reds coming out, getting back the tank. But now this is the chance that they needed to bring back this fight before this managed to lose it. The Mei is missed. Now they're going to be throwing out Blizzard, Coalescing, making sure to keep them alive on the tank. They're not being able to burst it down. Never mind, I eat my own words. As slowly they're getting it, but now because they had Coalescence up, they managed to get the poke and the grab coming out. Only Reinhardt left. Ray is stuck, looking to try to just stall onto this map, but it doesn't even matter because now they have nothing. Going into this next fight, they have to touch point. They have less than a fight, and they only have Shatter for this fight. The Lucio actually managing to be able to touch the Doofus, now coming on, missing the uppercut, so going slow. Getting the Moira, that's very good. They now have less sustain going on to this point, especially with the ball. They're able to just roll around. This is the value of a ball going on to this point. Now look, Ray's just able to walk around with the hammer, not worrying about anything. This is almost looking like a clown fest as they're just able to looking to try to focus the Tracer just like the animatic. And look at that, now they've won back the point on a 99 stall. Immediately, what is that, Kiefer?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Oh no, I don't want to be clipped.
No.
But the Reinhardt of the Grubs, switching back to the Reinhardt so they can try to push back. However, Music is still sticking onto the ball, which is strictly a stall. Now they're going to be trying to pop with Bob coming out to try to keep them away from exactly moving in. Bandit getting picked up early, the same with Daddy Cole. Mr. Roy now getting the Pharah, swinging the fight into their favor. Axel Platzel now using the Coalescence to shut down the fight, and they have nothing to do besides from pick off the stragglers. The Reinhardt trying to charge back, but Grubs, there's no chance. passing back the funny number and immediately going down. They're almost into a spawn camp area, but they have to move back before they overextend and kind of cost them the fight. They have no repair right now.
That's Mr. Roy to you. Mr. Roy takes out both the DPS on the side of the Grubs. Great play from him to take away the pressure from his front line and allow the front line to do work because there's no DPS taking off angles on him.
Yep, immediately. Look at that. The Tracer blinked in, trying to one-clip. We're now in the 90%. And one, but a big slam coming out of Ray. Immediately opening it up, but they get the Reinhardt. And Barrage comes out, not getting anyone res, managing to save Keeper. But they're going to be charging. It's nothing that they're capable to do. They lost the fight early. They're going to be needing a miracle to be trying to win it now. Now Bandit's just looking for anything he can while the Mercy just flings around, but they just are letting them live so that they can kill him later. It's going right back on point. Cameron looking for anything he can. Coalescence coming up to just finish off the fight. Now they're kind of just letting the ball run around on point as fast as he can. They manage to get Bandit, and slowly the enemy Grubs are just able to come on point. They're not focusing down this ball, and now look at Reinhardt's back on point. Now Lucian's back on point. They're going to be slowly stunning right back. Now they're just actually using every ultimate into their capabilities to keep people off point, but they're not focusing on the people who are currently on point. Look at this, they're just able to stall it out, and now Stalin are going to be able to get this.
Yeah, what a stall. I'm not going to make a stalling pun for Stalingrad. I refuse to do that. I will not stoop to that level.
No.
Good, but good stall from both teams.
They wanted to go, but either way, we're going to be switching to double shield going on to this point. Cameron going on to the Tracer for the flank, while Mr. Roy and Daddy Cole have a more poking composition.
Yeah, well, Cameron's coming out on this Tracer is kind of a gamble if the other team goes on a Torbjorn per se, but the gamble ends up paying off because there really is nothing to counter the Tracer directly. I mean, I know an Ashe could do a number on it, the Hanzo can do a number on it, but he's gonna go straight for that Zenyatta probably right about now.
They're immediately kind of opposite sides of the map. They're rotating slowly. Bandit managing to get it because they're in that small room. They had no shield. They tried to use that natural cover, but it didn't end up working for them. Now it's just a slow fight as Bandit is just able to have all the sightline he wants to be able to get these picks, and now they're just fodder. They're just in this hole, and now they're dead. Grubs cleanly rotate to make sure that they had the sightlines to do what they wanted.
Yeah, I mean, that's why you don't path into the little cubby first, because when you're playing against Double Shield's going to be able to take all these angles around that cubby, and you're just going to get spammed out from everywhere, and they could do nothing against it.
No, yeah, and while Stalin do have the better first shield to break, remember, Cameron is still on that Tracer, is able to poke around, and they had sightline advantage, so it was kind of against them. Dynamite missing, using going low, but managing to survive. They're kind of poking right now at each other, trying to find to see if anyone's weak, slowly going on. They're neither wanting to go really high. The pull almost getting full, but managing to miss by a hair. How unlucky. Cameron managing to pick off, and this is why the Tracer is so valuable into this fight, because once they slowly started getting picked off, the Tracer was able to just go in immediately, get that Baptiste, and it just became a roll at that point.
Yeah, I mean, the Tracer's doing a great job of just forcing the Stalwarts to just kind of pay attention to her rather than the front line, and then that forces them to lose the shield war. Tracer doesn't provide as much shield break as the Hanzo, like, of course, but she does a good job of distracting the main target, the main shield breakers on the other team.
Alright, they're going to be taking a different pathing away, which kind of gives them more natural cover, possibly going right back down the point. Yeah, they're going to be trying this again. I don't know if I like this. However, they do manage to, yeah, look at this. They managed to immediately get Ray. It doesn't matter. And Pulse Bomb, sure, it gets the immortality. Now they just wasted a 25-second cooldown. Now they're just, look at this. They're just running on point to finish them off. They have 80 seconds left in this fight. It's just been a mess. They have not been able to have a clean engage or take the positions that they want because of this Tracer. They're not able to stun them. They're not able to shut down the Tracer from poking their backline, which is kind of splitting them up almost, and Grubs are taking heavy advantage of that. Look at this, going on to the 96%. I don't think they'll have a chance to reach it. Look at that, the pool immediately getting them, and now we're going to be going to map 30. What an amazing comeback from Grubs.
Yeah, you gotta switch break there. Like, honestly, you've got to switch something to do that, to go get that Tracer. That Tracer was doing so
problem into the team. But now we're going to be going on to a brawly composition. Wow, Stalin running meta right now. using the while Grubs are using a Symmetra and May. This is definitely for more of an isolation kind of composition, where they want to wall you off and use the turret to kind of mess with your target focus.
Yeah, the sim is mostly used to just try and set up on point and just lock down point control, right? You want to sit there and you want to ramp up, but Daddy Cole picks off True Donger early.
Yep, this doesn't give them the opportunity to just rush in. Look at that, they're immediately split off though, and this is what the Symmetra is here for. Symmetra bursts down, just absolutely melts Ray's shield. Ray can't use it to defend herself. And now look at this, they're able to just sit there even with their support gone. They have the turrets to help deal the damage. And with Symmetra gaining quick beam due to already having shot that shield, it was just an instant meltdown and nothing that they could do. They're going to be taking high ground for the rotation. And they have the teleporter on the bottom just in case if they decide to go down mid. But however, they're going to be deciding. Now they're split off. They have to hurry up and burst down the wall. They managed to do it. They're going to be backing up, using the wall to defend themselves before they get rushed on. Now it's just a slow kind of poke. They're going to be waiting for possibly speed to just rush in. Look at this. They're kind of split now. It looks like the tanks are kind of like confused comms while music is going down. Ray was looking like they wanted to engage on top. But now they've called for somewhere else. They're going down mid. But the rotation was so slow that now, look this, Stalin has already taken their positioning. They're ready for this. And Bandit immediately gets Daddy Cool. This is kind of going like in a mess.
I mean, I don't know. Bandit's just ramping up so quickly and doing tons of damage for free. They've got to get him somehow.
I definitely would recommend. Look at that Shatter coming out. They're glitched onto like the weird May wall. And the shield coming out, splitting it off. Kefir getting large. And they're not being able to do anything. At this point, the hard ball isn't doing anything. Simply to the fact that Symmetra is making sure that they're not able to engage at all. Right now, they're waiting for ultimates. They're about to have their May. Look at this. Cameron's about to have his May ability, his May cryo or whatever. Blizzard. Yeah. Look at this. Seismic coming out. They immediately have Sound Barrier to use it last second, and it's gonna save them.
No, the he's out, but it does not save Mr. Roy.
Yeah, Mr. Roy is down. Look at this grab coming out. They're going to be using this for an ability, Sound Barrier now. But look at this Blizzard. They managed to recap, but it doesn't matter. They're kind of frozen on the point. There's only May left, and May's not going to be able to clean up on this. And look at this Bandit is able to immediately sweep. Honestly, if I were Stalin, I probably would have done a more potent competition. Something to where you could play with sightlines and, you know, try to slowly pick them off, because you can't rush into this composition as you could before with the double shield. And they're not going to be able to touch point. And look at this, going into this, fighting with the Vengeance is Grubs. How much damage he allows his team to do. But they are going to be running late. They're going to be running a Junkrat to stop the shield. So now this is just whether or not Cameron and Bandit can make sure not to be poked by Mr. Roy or be flanked by Daddy Cole. Going slowly in, they're just kind of testing the water, seeing where they can go. Half of the team is already rotated while Kefir is just slowly going back now, missing the jump and having to just immediately run back. They don't have the shield slowly. This is giving Mr. Roy the chance to have all the sight lines he wants, and they're bursting. Look how fast they're bursting on these shields. Already down. They're looking for anything that they can, and they're not able to play that the way that they want. Cameron having to just go to the opposite side to look for music. Music is flanking to make sure to kind of, you know, confuse them and make them switch sight lines. Now they're slowly going into this fight. The problem with it right now is that, oh no, never mind, Mr. Roy manages to Zen. That's very good right now. That's less damage on their side. They have to back up. The field coming out. This is going to break down all their shields. Immortality being immediately shut down. Bandit getting Mr. Roy. This might slowly bring it back, but Daddy Cole might be able to get the Sigma. Now the field going on to the opposite end. Look at this music just into the enemy team. He's just able to walk in and get the rest of them. While Axel Plaxel did get picked off, they're going to be able to make it to the corner. However, Grubs do have the capability to stall, at least for one time, but I don't know how useful that'll be.
Yeah, and I mean, we saw music come out with the McGravy angle and take the off angle. We see the Bob come in.
Immediately come out. It's gonna be using to stall point. They have to burst that Bob down immediately. Yep, they do. Look at that. Mr. Roy is gone. They don't have the sightlines that they want anymore. So this could end the fight right now. Their composition is favored in letting the DPS have the ability to just stay back and shut them down while they burst down shields. While on the opposite end, Bandit is just able to have as much pressure as he wants if he doesn't have to worry about an enemy Widow. And that's exactly what he does.
I mean, we see Mr. Roy switch off the Widow because he only got one pick. I mean, that did open up the point for them in general.
Yeah,
but it really isn't enough to be consistent enough, right? So he switches to the Ashe. He wants more consistent damage. And yeah, so like what Stalingrad's running right now is much closer to what is generally considered the meta at the moment, with the double shield, with the Ashe, Echo, and the Bap Zen.
Yep, they're gonna have to shut down that Junkrat though. Junkrat's gonna be, his primary job is to burst down their shields, not allow them to be able to play the game practically. Look at that field coming out, placed in a weird position as they're not really able to capitalize on it. Music actually getting Cameron though, and Daddy Cole getting the Orisa. This is
look at this angle from Music up there. And Music takes the high ground and just puts so much pressure on the defenders.
Yeah, they're not really able to pay attention, but look at this, they're not able to rush on point. They pop trance, but that doesn't save Ray. Sorry, you're gonna come again. As the enemy team, they're slowly just staggering right back. And this is not what they want. They had the pace to engage, but they weren't able to immediately capitalize on them. And look at this, Mr. Roy and Bandit are going back and forth. Classical Axel is going to prove that he is the superior Zen winning that fight. But it doesn't matter. They're going on to a 40-second timer. They have trance, they have amp going on the side of Grubs. Look at that, they're going to immediately pop amp. They're going to defend it to their life. And now it's going slowly. Mr. Roy dies with Bob. That's not good right now. They need that Bob immensely. While Bandit just flanks them and is going to get those picks. This is what Bandit is very good at. And look, Classical Axel. Oh, they're out. They are out of the game. The major problem going into this is just that I don't know actually. Do you have any insight to why?
There was a little bit of just misuse of cooldowns. Like the gold didn't get enough value from the Orisa, and the lamp was late. And massive stun on the bomb.
Shut down. They're not able to do anything, and that is going to end it. A full hold coming out on the side for Grubs. That is an amazing start. They are coming into this with full momentum, a new mentality, and this is what I like to see. This is the capability for Grubs to make a comeback. Finland, they were able to just almost completely full hold South Korea on the. Look at this! They're immediately taking the fight, and they're already low. They're not being able.
Oh my god!
Immediately getting picked off, and I think a major factor that goes that they don't have a hog. I think a hog might be like a major factor going into when you want to try to full hold on this, as well as the Pharah. Just look at that. It doesn't matter. Cameron, he has your number. Cameron has called you up, and now you're dead. You've lost about halfway of sheep phase.
Yeah, I mean, they lost a ton of space, but alongside that, I mean, they wasted 30 seconds, but you really have to question whether it was worth it here. But they're going to switch to a double sniper comp with the Ashe and the Hanzo here.
Yep, but they have no ult, so they're going to be going in on a disadvantage. Look at that, Cameron already about to have a barrage slowly.
Oh, he's looking for it.
Yep, the tanks are just making sure that the cart gets up. It's halfway. This is the point of no return. Look at that. Cameron actually gets found out, but Bandit manages to get, and now this is the opening that they need. Stalin needs to play carefully and back up. There's no chance for you to save yourself as Mr. Roy manages to get the Mercy, but is that the pick that they need? It's not going to be one that it's not going to be the one to save them, sadly. Axel Platform managing to go down, and there's only a Sigma left. Barrage coming out, making sure to finish anyone off. Daddy Cole going on the Tracer, but Cameron shutting him down. They have now on point, and that is an immediate second win coming out on the side of Grubs, and they'll click heads, and they're going to win. Look at that Bandit.
Oh, the Air Force comp is coming out from the Grubs, actually.
Oh, look at this. They're going to be holding high ground, though. So this is all on Mr. Roy, or I Like Sniping, to focus down the Pharah. They're already flanking. This is going to be a very careful composition. They have to go in with their best. Look at this. They're slowly, and Bandit immediately bursts them down using his stickies. And look at they weren't paying attention to Cameron. Cameron was right behind them, shooting at them. Bandit went around the flank and shot his stickies, comboing with Cameron, and they were just able to immediately, like, there was nothing they could do. And this is exactly what we said. Don't go, if you're losing to a Pharah, why would you switch to a map that heavily enables them to do this? This is probably a map that Grubs practice a lot. This favors them.
And I mean, looking back at that map, Bandit was a beast. He's not one of those bandits from Skyrim. He's a new animal. He's going in there and he gets 3 picks with all of those OP abilities that Echo has. there's so much potential to make plays, and we just saw Bandit do it right there.
He walks in. Vietnam music being played. Bow now, going right in.
And they're in the trees. They're in the sky.
Yeah, look at this. Immediately, however, they just
Cameron.
managed to shut down Cameron. He kind of overextended, got a bit aggressive. Wait, they're not paying attention to the Mercy, and the Rez was able to get off. That's now the problem is that Cameron is now alive, and they're getting the picks that they want. Look at this. Cameron's just able to roam around now, do whatever he wants. They have field on point, and they've shut down. There's nothing that Stalin can do. They have to try to stagger themselves on point, but guess who's there? Getting the major picks. Bandit now kind of just putting on his belt, showing that he wants to become the best DPS on his team. The actual competition. Bandit now just shutting everyone down before they're able to get on point. We now have a Lucio ball. This is what they need. The 2CP favors is coming right in slowly. Immort saving music, which doesn't matter. Immediately, Duke is coming out looking for any hit. Immort coming right up. Look at that. Almost getting bubbled, but not close enough. And it's just kind of a meltdown. Their respawns are they're dying so fast, and respawns are becoming synced, but this ball now coming back to point. They're slowly waiting. Cameron's not even shooting anymore. He's just sitting down, relaxing. He's having a nice Monday stroll. They try to touch point. They managed to make it with 97.9% left. They're trying to do as much as they can. Monkey right back on point. At this second, their respawns are about synced, and it doesn't matter. With a 4-minute and 23 seconds.
Look, I don't know if you heard it. I mean, I've got my my Dolby Atmos turned on my headphones, but I heard Bandit come out here and he put something heavy on the table. I heard him and not letting him stay comfortable.
Yeah,
and
like,
we see on the side of Stalingrad coming out on a pretty weird comp with like 2 utility DPS in the Sombra and the May.
The Sombra to be stealthing around. But going back to that quickly, every one of these players has shown themselves to be going up against their counterparts. Like it's pretty evenly, I guess, in the realm of tanks and supports. I'd have to pay more attention. Look at this, they're going to be rotating slowly. This is what gives the SEM so much power. They're able to just teleport around and do whatever they want. Mr. Royer, I like sniping. It's going to have to get EMP very fast. Look at this, they're just teleporting. Bandit is just playing around. He teleported to them, started shooting at them, and then said, whoops, gonna have to rewind, go right back as if he's in Valorant, and go, look at this, now they just have the sight lens. They're not going to be able to touch point. They're going to May while the Bastion's going to burst that down. I like Sniping going to be immediately getting Cameron. This might give them the opening that they wanted. However, Cameron's just going to be immediately red. Bastion just looking. He's going to jump down. This is the time to focus him down. You have to shut down that Bastion. The Immortality coming out to save the Orisa. We get the Bastion. Ray was just sitting there shielding at nothing. They've got the Bastion now. Now you just run in. Lick heads. You just finish them off. Cameron has the room to do what he wants. Now Cameron is now gone. There's nothing stopping them from just rushing into them. They had the Coalescence popped out to make sure that Ray could just int in. They're going after the Sigma, not leaving the bat to heal the Orisa. Orisa's just able to... Look at this, they're able to stall it out. Now they've thrown out Field. They left Bat alive so long. He got Field, and then he just clicked heads. And that was their major issue. They didn't look at support. God. They spent all their time going after Sigma, who wasn't doing anything. In this composition, you need to be going after that Baptiste. The support was keeping them alive.
Yeah, I mean, like, I wanted to point out that PT Hanley not only killed himself, but the Ryan at the same time. Great Maywall coming out from Daddy Cole, because they just want to establish some point presence here.
Yeah, look at this. They're going to have the ability to win point. They have a couple ultimates. They're not going to have EMP immediately. Bandit's going to use his ult, walk in for Ray, and shoot. Large having to throw off the map. They're going to have to engage with EMP.
I heard I heard the thwack again. He did it again.
Right back, I feel like I'm back in middle school summer camp with the whole fight out on the table.
It's like Bandit's showing that he's got.
Yeah.
He's been showing some skill today.
They're gonna have to engage with the EMP. This is a make it or break it. I don't think they have enough time to charge another EMP. They only need one tick. This is favorable for them. However, they're gonna be teleporting in a split second, but they're waiting for them to engage. They want them to waste the EMP. This is also really bad. If the Summer waits for them to move, and EMP is immediately 5-hack. They're able to go onto the point. They're going to be shutting down the Orisa. throwing Mail, throwing Blizzard right on point to stop them. Axel Plateau and Music are down now. Bandit just has the sightlines. This is so bad, they have to touch point. The Mercy
in the back.
able to fly all the way back, and Rez, this is not going into their favor. Bandit immediately getting another ult and popping heads. Look at him. Oh my god, Bandit just putting onto the aggression. And
I mean, how is Court P, I guess? How are they getting away with so many of these reses?
I definitely think it's Stalin aren't focused. They look confused, and look at this. Now they're going to be switching to the Pharah composition, which at this point, it's not going to help. You don't have the time to be going for the poke. The Pharah doesn't have time. You don't have the Mercy. So now they have to rush on the point, and Bandit just has sightlines. What are you going to do against Bandit? They're going to have field in a good second, so you need to hurry up. They're going to be having a tick, but now they're going to be jumping on point, and how unfortunate. They're now rolling down. Ray having to touch point to do anything, but it's over, Lady Gaga. Your time is up. Coalesce is doing anything, but Axel Platinum is down. There's only Music left, and with a very dominant comeback, we have to give this win to Grubs. A full hold going on to this, capping both points. Grubs takes us with a 3-0 win.